Good day, ma'am. Good day, classmates. I'm going to discuss the simultaneous biofortification of rice with zinc, iodine, iron, and selenium through foliar treatment of micronutrient cocktail in five countries. So, we all know that the widespread malnutrition of zinc, iodine, iron, and selenium, known as hidden hunger, represents a predominant cause of several complications in human populations where Oryza sativa or rice is our major staple food. So therefore, increasing the concentrations of these micronutrients in rice grain represents a sustainable solution to a problem which is the hidden hunger. So we're going to discuss the malnutrition, rice as staple food, biofortification, the nutrients such as zinc, iodine, iron, and selenium, the materials and methods used in the study, and then the results and discussion, and then the conclusion. So malnutrition.
The world produces enough food to feed 7.3 billion people, but not everyone has access to proper nutrition. Every day, 795 million people wake up and go to bed hungry, and 1 in 3 of them suffer from malnutrition. 98% of these people are from developing countries. Most are from Asia. Children are the most evident victims. Every 10 seconds, a child dies from hunger-related diseases. 161 million children under the age of 5 suffer from stunting, and 1 in 4 will not achieve their full growth potential. Eliminating malnutrition may seem impossible in this lifetime, but according to the World Food Program, it can be resolved by 2030. You can volunteer, help reduce food waste, or contribute to organizations actively solving this problem. Small steps could lead to bigger solutions. If the issue of hunger can be solved within our lifetime, wouldn't you be willing to help? Volunteer, donate, share.
So malnutrition is defined as a serious condition happens when our diet does not contain the right amount of nutrients. It means poor nutrition, and sometimes it can classified into two, undernutrition and overnutrition. So undernutrition is not getting enough nutrients while overnutrition is getting more nutrients that they need. So globally, an estimated 2 billion people suffer from micronutrient malnutrition or the what we call as hidden hunger, especially in developing world. Particular micronutrient deficiencies include iron, zinc, selenium, and iodine, which result in severe health complications as well as significant economic losses. So, due to their high requirement, infants, preschool, children, and women of reproductive age are more vulnerable to micronutrient malnutrition. So that is why we have to address this problem to aid that problem that our world is facing nowadays. So, rice. Rice as staple food. Rice is the most important crop of the developing world and the staple food of more than half of the world's population. Rice in nutrients and vitamins, minerals, it is an excellent source of complex carbohydrates, and an estimated 9 of every 10 people in the world who eat rice are Asian. So yes, we all know that we Filipinos um we Filipinos are fan of rice. Like rice is life, like every meal we always find rice or every meal rice will always be present. It is because rice is our number one source of energy in our body. That is why planting rice is must be sustainable in our world, especially in Asian or in the Philippines. So, what does biofortification means? So, biofortification is the process by which the nutritional quality of food crops is improves through agronomic practices, conventional plant breeding, or modern biotechnology. So in biofortification, it aims to increase the availability of nutrient in a specific crop. Like for example, the rice through different different practices, like for example agronomic, conventional, or modern biotechnology. But for this study where the researcher have used the agronomic practices in which they used a foliar application of cocktail, yes, that contains zinc, iodine, iron, and selenium in increasing the micronutrient element in our rice. So, micronutrients, what are these? So, micronutrients are one of the major groups of nutrient our body needs. So, they include vitamins and minerals. Vitamins are necessary for energy production, immune function, blood clotting, and other functions. Meanwhile, minerals plant and plays an important role in growth, bone health, fluid balance, and several other processes. So, in this time of pandemic, we need to increase the nutrient availability in our body, or our we need to boost our immune system. We need to make our immune system stronger so that we will not be able to acquire the the virus that surrounds the environment, or which we can get from other people. So if these micronutrients will be deficient in our body, this might lead us to several diseases. Like for example, we will our if our immune system will lower down, or is low, then we might get infected by the virus, which is the COVID-19 or the COVID. So sometimes it will give us, if iodine is lacking in our body, this will result to goiter, um, or some are anemia or anemic, or diabetes or diabetic. They become diabetic. It is because most of the nutrients are lacking in their body. That is why we need to supplement the food that we are taking to sustain the nutrients that our body needs. So next, so micronutrients. So what is the importance of zinc to our plants or to us, human? So zinc is an essential plant nutrient required for several biochemical processes in the rice plant, including chlorophyll production and membrane integrity. Thus, zinc deficiencies plants are stunted because internodes are shortened or resetting. Zinc is only slightly mobile in the plant and quite immobile in the cell. So that is why zinc is very important in not only for us human but also to our rice. It is because they play an important role in chlorophyll production. And also, we have to observe that zinc will become abundant when our soil becomes acidic. Yes, because when our soil becomes acidic, zinc becomes higher. So when zinc is a micronutrient in which our plant need it in a small amount. So if this becomes abundant into our cell, this becomes toxic. So what is the importance of zinc to you for us human? So it is found in cells throughout the body. So it is needed for the body's defensive or immune system to properly work. It plays a role in cell division, cell growth, wound healing, and the breakdown of carbohydrates. So zinc is also needed for the senses of smell and taste. If deficient, this might cause appetite loss, slower than expected growth, and poor immune system. So this when zinc becomes deficient in our body, our immune system will not properly work. So we might get infected by some of the diseases that surrounds that surrounds us, like for example the COVID-19. So this will also results to appetite loss. So we have no appetite in eating, or this would result to wound healing will become matatagalan. So it is very important, especially to those developing countries who cannot access the proper nutrient. It is because the more they become weak because their immune system is low. So we need to supplement such nutrient for them to boost their immune system and will not get easily infected by some of the diseases. So next is, what is the importance of iodine in our body or even in our plants? So iodine influences plant growth and development and can modulate the plant transcriptome. So for human, iodine is a mineral found in some foods. The body needs iodine to make thyroid hormones. These hormones control the body's metabolism. The body needs thyroid hormones to proper bone and brain development during pregnancy and infancy. So iodine plays a significant role in the plant growth and development. So if iodine will become deficient, so our plant growth will slow down. So also to the function of iodine in our for us humans is that the body needs iodine to make thyroid hormones. So if this becomes deficient, this result to the most common is goiter. The when the our neck becomes bigger and bigger. So this also thyroid hormones are very important to pregnant women around the globe. Yes, it is because it helps in developing proper bone, the brain development during the pregnancy, and then for the infant. So that is why iodine is very important to supplement in our body. So next is iron. So iron is involved in photosynthesis, respiration, and many enzymatic reactions. So chlorophyll formation, oxygen carrier, cell division, and growth. If deficient to plant, the plant may encounter intervenal chlorosis in younger leaves, and the youngest leaves may be white because iron, like magnesium, is involved in chlorophyll production. So we also need to observe that just like zinc, iron becomes higher when our soil becomes acidic. So when iron is belongs to micronutrients, which our plant needs only in small amounts. So when our soil becomes acidic, the accumulation of iron to our plant is this iron becomes toxic because this becomes abundant, so may result to many diseases, or this might this might cause or result to some diseases, or will magnetize some diseases. It is because of the toxicity of rice to our plants. So iron to human. Iron is an essential element for blood production. About 70% of your body's iron is found in red blood cells of your blood called hemoglobin and in muscle cells called myoglobin. Hemoglobin is essential for transferring oxygen in our blood from the lungs to the tissues. If this nutrient is deficient in the body, anemia will occur and may leave us tired and short of breath. So according to some research, more than 2 billion billion people suffers from iron deficiency. So iron deficiency is very rampant to developing countries, and especially to our children or to the young ones, like 1.2 billion or million Filipinos children suffers from iron deficiency, and more than 800 women suffers from it. Why? It is because iron is one of the component in creating red blood cells, and women releases month releases blood monthly. So they release when they have their monthly period, they also releases iron, so which results them from anemia. So that is why we need to supplement or provide a sufficient iron in our body to refrain from that disease. So what is the importance of selenium? This has been reported that selenium helps plant cope with abiotic stress by stimulating the plant cell antioxidant capacity through the enhancement of activity of antioxidant enzymes. So to humans, selenium helps our body make special proteins called antioxidant enzymes. This plant role in preventing cell damage, also play critical role in metabolism and thyroid function, and helps protect our body from damage caused by oxidative stress. It also helps in boosting our immune system, slow age-related mental decline, and even reduce risk of heart disease. So if deficient, this may cause muscle weakness, fatigue, hair loss, and weaken our immune system. So those five micronutrients plays a very significant role in our body. So any of these five becomes deficient, this might affect our health, or this might affect our health um will it will also lower down our immune system, which immune system is one of the most important to not uh, to boost, because for us to not acquire any diseases or any malfunction in our body. So next, so these are the materials and methods used in the study. So a field experiment on rice was conducted over two cropping seasons in 2015 to 2017 at a total of 21 field sites of five different countries, like for example the Brazil, China, India, Pakistan, and Thailand. So except for Brazil is where rice was cultivated under upland condition. So in all other locations, rice was grown under flooded conditions with 10 to 20 centimeter standing water above the soil surface for most of the growing season. So the rice cultivars grown at various field sites were commonly cultivated in the respective countries. So here, Brazil. So in the left side, these are the countries, what year was conducted, and then the field of location, and then the crop or the rice variety. So next, so materials and methods. So this experiment comprises four treatments. So first is the local control, which is the basal application of nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium fertilizer only. So there is no micronutrient applied. So second treatment is the local control plus foliar application of 0.5% zinc sulfate heptahydrate in spray solution. So the third one is the local control plus the foliar application of iodine, which is 0.05 potassium iodate in spray solution. And then the fourth one is the local control plus simultaneous foliar spray of micronutrients such as zinc, iodine, iron, and selenium in a cocktail solution containing 0.5 zinc sulfate heptahydrate plus 0.05% potassium iodate plus 0.02% iron EDTA plus 0.001% sodium selenate. So the study was, or the field experiment was laid out in a randomized complete block design or RCBD with 4 replication. So the foliar solution of treatment varying from 500 to 800 liters per hectare. So yes, this was the concentration of the or the amount of water that each foliar or was observed in applying foliar. So the foliar application was applied twice. So first is during panicle initiation or about the week prior to heading. Then the second one is the early grain milk stages. So the foliar treatments were applied late in the afternoon until the solution started to run off from the leaves as described by Kakmak et al. Of 2010. So the at grain maturity, rice grain was recorded from 6 to 10 meters squared the central area of each plot. So why late in the afternoon? It is because late in the afternoon or early in the morning because um the stomata of our rice is 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 open and the sun and the activity and the sun still does not function unlike to daylight. So according to some of the sources, they said that the best to apply foliar application is during um with a temperature of 26 and below. Yes, accordingly. So next one is the materials and methods. So these are the initial cell characteristics of 21 experimental field sites in 14 locations of 5 countries. So for Brazil, the pH is 5 or the pH is 5.5. So the DTPA zinc is 1.1. So the extractable phosphorus is has 58. So for extractable potassium is 144, which is the highest. Then the TMAH extractable iodine or TMAH or the tetramethyl ammonium hydroxide method, which is 11.6, has the highest. And then extractable selenium is 12.7 for, so for Thailand it has pH of 5.5 and 5.6 and 1.3 for the 1.5 pH, and then 51 DTPA iron, and extractable phosphorus is 66, and then extractable potassium is 246, and extractable iodine is 0.5, which is low, and then 12.04 selenium. So this is the initial characteristics of 21 experiments field sites in 14 locations of 5 countries. So for the result, grain yield with the same experiment treatments, rice grain or paddy yield varied drastically across 21 field sites across 14 locations in 5 countries. Like for example, in case of local control treatment or no micronutrient application, rice grain yield varied from 1.94 milligrams per hectare at Lambari location of Brazil in 2017 to 11.46 at Jiangsu location in China at 2015. So the foliar application of zinc or micronutrient cocktail did not affect the grain yield at any field site in the country. So across all experimental treatments and field sites in 5 countries, average grain yield was 6.10 per hectare, with the local control treatment 6.26, with foliar application of zinc 5.95 with the foliar iodine treatment, and 6.06 with the micronutrient cocktail treatment. So this is the table that I have discussed. So there is no significant effect of the the grain yield from local control to foliar application of zinc, iodine, and the foliar cocktail. So there is no increase or too much decrease of the yield. So there is no significant. So for the discussion, results of the present study conducted across 21 field sites over 2 crop seasons in 5 major rice growing countries showed that the foliar application of a micronutrient cocktail solution was highly effective in increasing brown grain concentration of zinc, iodine, and selenium. So the increases in grain concentration of micronutrients happened without any clear change in grain yield by application of the cocktail solution of micronutrients, as shown in the table 4 later. So the soils of the field sites were not deficient in zinc and iron for rice, and contain generally high extractable concentrations of zinc and especially iron. So this is the zinc concentration in brown rice grains shown with different foliar fertilizer treatment in 14 locations of 5 countries. So only in India shows no significant effect, and the rest from Brazil, China, Pakistan, and Thailand shows a significant effect in local control, foliar application of zinc, foliar application for iodine, and then the foliar application of cocktail. So it was successful. So for iodine, all 5 or 21 field in 14 locations of 5 countries shows that iodine concentration in brown rice grain shows a significant effect from Brazil, China, India, and Pakistan and Thailand. So next one is iron concentration in brown rice grain grown in 21 field sites and 14 locations of 5 countries shows no significant effect. So yes, only in Lamberi, Brazil of 2016 shows significant, and in Patos de Minas of 2017 shows also significant, but then the rest shows no significant effect. So for the selenium, all 5 or all 21 field sites and 14 locations of 5 different countries shows a significant effect also in the application of the foliar cocktail. So as yes. Next is for the conclusion, foliar application of the cocktail micronutrient solution resulted in significant enrichment of zinc, iodine, and selenium in grown rice grains. So which signifies that if it will be marketed and successful in several laboratories for its good effects to human body, it will be a great help in combating the world problem, which is malnutrition. So only the zinc, iodine, and selenium show significant effect in the increasing of this in biofortification. So only the iron did not only the iron application is not successful in the application of iron. So maybe some of you might wonder, I have I have a similar study with this. So I used iron. So we have already observed that iron has no significant effect to biofortification of in rice. So my study is a different thing. It is because my I used I used another element of iron, or I another source of iron. And aside from that, my research or my thesis is you my thesis used an acidic soil which has high iron content in the field. So let's see what is the result, and hopefully it will become successful. It will become successful and shows a significant effect. So next, for the last slide. So according to Buzz Alria, if we can conquer space, we can conquer childhood hunger. So that is why, if we cannot, according to Mother Teresa, we cannot feed many people at the same time. So we have to feed one at a time. So we agriculturists should um, help in combating the hunger or the nutrient or malnutrition that our world is facing. We should be the problem. We should not be the problem. Instead, we should be the solution that our world is facing nowadays. And together, increasing the nutrient availability of our crops will help in combating the COVID-19 that we are facing. So thank you and God bless.